Welcome. Today, we are diving deep into an incredible story. The story of the energy that literally moves our world, stretching from a time long before humans existed, right up to this very moment. I mean, just think about your day so far, right? The car or the bus you took, the lights in your room, the device you're watching this on right now, all of it needs energy. But where does that power really come from? And here's the crazy part. It's not something we can just whip up in a lab. The answer is buried millions of years in the past, in a world that was teeming with life that has long since vanished. So where does this whole story even start? Well, to get a handle on our energy, we have to go back in time. And I mean way back. Okay, I want you to picture the Earth about 300 million years ago. It's totally different. It's covered in these dense, swampy forests and massive oceans, just filled with tiny life. Now, as all these plants and organisms died, they didn't just rot away. No, they got buried deeper and deeper, under layer after layer of muck and sand for millions of years. All that weight from above, plus the heat coming from the Earth's core, basically created this giant geological pressure cooker. And it slowly cooked those ancient remains into the coal, oil, and natural gas we rely on today. And you know, this incredible transformation actually has a name: carbonization. It's the super slow geological recipe that turns all that dead plant matter into coal. It's like all that insane heat and pressure literally squeezed everything else out, leaving behind almost pure carbon. It's ancient sunlight concentrated into a rock. So get this, not all fossil fuels are created equal. They don't all come from the same place. You've got two completely different paths here. On one side, you have the gigantic ferns and trees from those ancient forests that eventually became our coal deposits. And on the other side, you've got trillions and trillions of tiny marine creatures whose remains, over those same millions of years, turned into liquid petroleum and natural gas. Two different lost worlds, two very different kinds of energy. Okay, so we've got this ancient, buried energy locked away. The big question is, how do we get it into our modern world and turn it into the amazing number of products we use every single day? You know, when we process raw coal, it's not just for burning. We get something called coke, which is absolutely essential for making steel. We also get coal gas, which is a powerful fuel for industry. But then there's coal tar, this thick, black goo that's basically a chemical cocktail of about 200 different things. I mean, who would have thought? It's the hidden starting point for things you would never, ever guess, like the bright dyes in our clothes, all sorts of plastics, even perfumes and paints. And that, of course, brings us to petroleum. Its value is so immense, so world-changing, that it earned the nickname black gold. And that is not an exaggeration. This stuff isn't just fuel. It's a raw material that has literally built empires, shaped the modern world, and become the foundation of our entire global economy. See, crude oil, when it comes right out of the ground, is this thick, dark, goopy liquid. It's not really useful like that. To unlock all that potential locked inside, it has to be sent to a refinery. That's where this complex mixture gets carefully separated into all of its different, useful parts. And this is where the real magic of refining happens. It's absolutely incredible. From that one barrel of crude oil, we get this huge range of products. We get LPG for our backyard grills, petrol for our cars, and kerosene to power jet airplanes. We get diesel for trucks and generators, lubricating oils to keep machines running smoothly, paraffin wax for candles, and even the bitumen that's used to pave the very roads we drive on. I mean, just look at this list. It is woven into almost every single thing we do. But, and you knew there was a but coming, this amazing gift from a lost world has a serious catch. Unlocking all this ancient energy has created some of the biggest challenges our modern world has ever faced. You see, when we burn these fuels, we unleash a whole slew of problems into our environment. It creates air pollution that can harm our health, and the buildup of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere acts like a blanket, trapping heat and driving global warming. The other junk it releases, like sulfur and nitrogen oxides, can lead to acid rain, which damages everything from forests to buildings. It's the fundamental trade-off we've made for all this power. And look, on top of all that environmental cost, there's a really simple, unavoidable fact. This is not a story that goes on forever. These resources are finite. They took hundreds of millions of years to form, and we are burning through that ancient inheritance at a mind-boggling, completely unsustainable pace. So this reality, both the environmental hit and the fact that we're running out, it's forcing us to get smart. It's pushing us to innovate and to think completely differently about how we're going to power our future. So, what can we actually do about it? Well, one of the immediate steps is using cleaner burning fuels, like CNG, which is compressed natural gas. Now, it's still a fossil fuel, but it's a huge improvement. It burns much more cleanly, which means it produces way fewer harmful pollutants than gasoline or diesel. A lot of people see it as a bridge fuel, a way to reduce our impact right now while we work on fully renewable solutions. And it's not just about switching fuels. Simple, everyday conservation can make a massive difference. Groups like the Petroleum Conservation Research Association point out really practical things we can all do. Driving smoothly instead of jamming on the gas and brakes. Turning off the engine at a long traffic light. Just making sure our tires have the right amount of air. Each one is a tiny action, but when you add them all up, they lead to real fuel savings and way less pollution. So think about it. We've built our entire modern civilization on the back of energy from a world that disappeared hundreds of millions of years ago. The story of how we got that energy is absolutely incredible, but it's a story that has a final chapter. And that leaves us with the biggest question there is. What's going to power our future?